Well, hello. I know today is Saturday and not Friday, so I am a day late, and I'm still committed to doing these mm, little shares every Friday, every Saturday, right? I'm still committed to doing them. In any case, um, I was thinking about what I want to share about today, and I just want to also preface this by saying that when I share things with you, they are just my beliefs. It's what I've found in my own experience to be true for me. They might not resonate with you, and that's perfectly fine, right? Because everybody is different, and we all have different ways of viewing things or seeing things and experiencing life. And really, all I'm doing is I'm just pointing to something that's been really, really helpful for me. And maybe, just maybe, it might be helpful for you too. So, I wanted to talk about this idea of, can we make a mistake? Have we ever made a mistake? Is there ever a time when we made a choice that was the wrong one? Now, there was a time in my life where I felt like my life was riddled with mistakes, that there were so many choices that I made that were mistakes, that I should have done this or I should have done that. And with that line of thinking came a lot of personal judgment. I judged myself a lot. I felt like maybe there were some things that were inadequate about me, or there were things that I just didn't have enough, knowledge or wisdom or whatever. Anyhow, it was that I wasn't enough, or something was missing, or that I just couldn't get it right. Right. Or how about the big one of that? There's something wrong with me. I just make a lot of mistakes. I make wrong choices, you know, and I want to kind of like dig into this a little bit, because when you think about your life, and let's just bring to mind, if you can bring to mind maybe a choice that you made or something that you did that you might consider to be a mistake in your own life. I want you to just kind of bring that to your mind and just kind of think about it for a minute. And then ask yourself, really, like, what was the gift? I know sometimes it's hard, right? Because we want to judge ourselves. We want to judge how we showed up or what we did or what we didn't do. But in every single decision and choice that we've made, there are gifts. They've led us down certain paths. The gift might be that we learned something really, really true about ourselves, something that could not have been given to us. The light couldn't have been shown on us to be able to see it. Like you can just kind of like review things and just kind of take an account for the choices that you made. So I've come to the place in my life where I don't believe that I ever made a mistake, that I've never made a wrong choice. Not a wrong choice. I could have made a different choice. But every choice that I made had an outcome, right? There was an outcome to that. Now, maybe it wasn't the outcome that I was looking for or what I was expecting or anticipating. However, in that moment, there was an opportunity for some really great learning. We could look at it and see, well, what were the things that didn't work? And then we could look at it and see what were the things that did. And so, did I ever make a mistake? I truly do not think I've ever made a wrong choice or a wrong decision. Why? Because in a couple of days, I'm going to turn 60. And in my 59 years of hmm, living and loving on this beautiful planet, what I realized is every decision that I made brought me to where I am today. That if I had chosen anything else, I would be in a different place. It would just be the way that it was, because you think about, like, they talk about when planes leave an airport. So planes leave an airport and they're flying, right? And if they just get like 1 degree off, like a plane that's going from St. Louis to maybe New York, right? It has a trajectory, it has a path that is flying on. If it just gets off 1 degree, it ends up in a totally different place. Not in New York, it might end up in New Jersey or Washington, D.C., right? And so, even though we start at the same place, we start at that moment of choice and we make a choice and it moves us into a direction, right? And we learn from our experience. So every choice that I've ever made, maybe it didn't have the outcome that I wanted. Maybe I learned something. Maybe there was some awareness for myself, that I needed to become aware of. These are great lessons to look at. Where in your life have you thought you made a mistake? Right? Have you ever really ever made a mistake? I don't think we can make mistakes. I think that we just make choices that have outcomes. And the outcomes may or may not be what we expected. Many, many times I would say they're not, you know? Because think of it, every time that you try to plan something, or let's just say you plan something, because we never try anything, we either do it or we don't. But every time you plan something, does it sometimes not go the way that you had anticipated? Many times, I would say more often than not, right? But that's also the beauty of the moment because you get to experience what is coming forward in that moment right now. You get to surrender to that moment and maybe learn something really new and interesting about yourself. We are here to grow, right? And to expand. And all of our choices help us do that. They lead us down these amazing journeys. Yes, you could have made other choices that would have taken you other places. But look at where you're at right now. Right? And you can see every choice. And I'm talking about some really hard choices that I've made in my life. Like I ended a marriage, right? And I when I look back at that choice, it wasn't a wrong choice. Right? It was a choice that I made that created a whole new trajectory in my life. My life started moving in a different direction, when I moved out of that relationship. Right? I want you to know I still love this person very, very deeply. We're still very good friends. We have two beautiful children. I wouldn't change any of it. Did I make a wrong choice in marrying him? No, I didn't. I didn't. Right. And then as I grew and I expanded and we grew apart, the things that we desired were different. I made a new choice for myself. So I want you to just kind of think about the choices that you've made and maybe where you think you've made a mistake. Because I don't believe we can make mistakes. I just think that we make choices that create opportunities in our lives to grow. So, and then, oh my gosh, there's a real gift when you actually kind of like really begin to like sink deep into the thought that I cannot make a wrong choice. Do you know what happens? You get free. You get free. Suddenly, when it comes time to make a choice, you're not like, oh, should I do this or should I do that? Or I don't know what to do. I don't know what the right choice is. I'm afraid I'm going to make the wrong choice and then delay making a choice. How many times have we been caught up in that whole scenario? Right? We're like, oh, is it this or is it this or is it this one? Oh, I just don't know. You know, but the reality is make a choice. Just make any choice. It's never, in my humble opinion, going to be a wrong choice. Never. It's going to create an outcome that's going to create an opportunity for you to expand and grow and learn, right? And so many times, beautiful gifts are given to us, right? That are unexpected gifts, things that we didn't really know were going to show up in our lives. So many times that happens for us. So I just want you to consider, and if this doesn't work for you, I get it. That's okay too. And I want to say this too, when you also adopt this level of thinking, that all of the choices that you're making are the right choices in that moment, it also frees you from judging yourself, right? When you look back on your mistakes or the things that you considered to be mistakes in the past, a lot of times there's a lot of judgment that we have towards ourselves, and maybe, a little bit of shame or something like that might be mixed in with all of that. Once you really start to Really feel like, oh, every choice is a divine choice. Every choice I make is a divine choice. And it's going to have an outcome that's going to allow me to grow and expand my awareness, my consciousness, my experience of living. When you begin to adopt that, then you stop judging yourself. And you know what? When you stop judging yourself, you start loving yourself. And that's the greatest love of all, is when we love ourselves. And we don't judge ourselves. And we acknowledge our courage for making choices, sometimes scary, especially when we don't know what the outcome is going to be. And even if we think we know what it is, many times it ends up being something very different. So, if you want to play with this idea of have you ever made a mistake, I encourage you to. And you can let me know in the comments below what your experience was or how you feel about what it is that I'm sharing today. But yeah, I believe you can never make a mistake, that you can never make a wrong choice. I believe that every choice that you make will serve you in your expansion, in your growth, and in your liberation. So, be kind and gentle and loving to yourself today and every day. And if this helps you in any way, I am eternally grateful, eternally grateful. So be loved, beloved. I'll be back here again with you soon next week. Have an awesome, awesome day. Oh, let's see here. I can hardly ever see these comments, but let me see. Hi, Eddie. Blessings to you too. And hi, Kate Johnson. Oh, that's so great. Thank you. I'm so happy that this blessed you in some way. And thank you for being here. All right. I love you. Have an amazing day. And I'll be back again next week with some more just things that I think about. It's kind of, because I'm also on this journey of expanding my own awareness and liberating my own soul. And so I'm just sharing with you some things that I've learned in my dynamic journey of discovering who I am and falling in love with myself. All right. You're more than welcome, Eddie. You're more than welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, Kay. All right. I love you. I love you. I love you. Mwah. Bye.